Hey there, Taurus. Welcome to reading for the week, for mid-November 2023. You have this card that says control and change on it, and this other card that says direction and journey on it. I'm laughing because every single person has had at least like two cards that represent a change in direction or going on some sort of journey. So clearly the rest of this month is all about going on a journey. This doesn't have to be literal. This could be something that you're doing in your head. For example, you could be like learning something new, or you could be traveling for, just short distance, for example, or, you could be just starting a new adventure. You could be like starting a new business or starting a new relationship or a new job, like all of those things. So, but it seems to be a time where everyone is doing that, which is interesting. Yeah, and look, I love this. This is like my favorite card in this deck, this serendipity card, because it's all about luck. And then you have this rabbit spirit that says, now is a lucky time. Are you kidding? So a lot of luck coming in for you here, Taurus. I feel like you need to open up as well. This is like a little bit closed off, right? It's kind of funny because very conflicting energy, all of this versus that, right? So there's something that you need to open up to here. It could just be a situation that is very lucky that you need to be open up to, but you could be like a little bit worried or concerned that it won't be lucky, right? And so I would kind of like open up here. It could be love, and it could be like a fire sign. It could be any sign. This is a general reading, but I feel some of you right away need to kind of like open up to love here. You also have the Six of Swords. Six of Swords moving on to calmer shores. So I feel like you're moving on from one thing, and it's like you're moving towards calmer shores. The Six of Swords is all about, it's kind of like a card of completely starting over, but not really. This woman and this child in this boat, they have nothing but the clothing on their back, and they're moving from everything that they've known. The story of this card is that they're completely moving on. They are bringing nothing with them except for the clothing, and the swords in the front of the boat kind of represent their knowledge, their wisdom, their experiences. So they're not really starting from scratch, although they are kind of like starting from scratch because, they are just hoping that for a brighter future. And so I feel that for a lot of you, where it's like you're kind of like hoping that there can be a brighter future. We also see this right here as well with the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands is a passionate new beginning, but Ace of Wands also represents out with the old and with the new. And so, there's a castle back here that is crumbling. And the Ace of Wands is that spark of hope, that spark of inspiration, that something new will kind of grow, right? Because, I love the Ace of Wands. It's my favorite card in the tarot. And the reason is that sometimes I feel the Ace of Wands is just that one thing we need to be motivated to action, or to feel like we can take action on something or move towards something. It's kind of like the root going down into the soil, the Ace of Wands. So I feel for a lot of you, this is about you kind of like taking action in new directions. And it's like there's already a start. There's already that spark of life, or there's already a spark of inspiration in some area of your life that you want to move towards. You have the Hermit here. The Hermit says you need to open up. The whole entire reading says you need to open up. I'm just going to go through it. Three of Swords, Nine of Wands, Eight of Swords, even the Ten of Wands here. It's like you've been too focused on burdens or challenges. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't be, but, I kind of feel that this is saying, in a lot of ways that you need to open up to something that you desire and not hold back. And, that's just where I feel like this reading is going. You need to open up here. Let's see. With the Six of Swords, you have this criticism card. I kind of feel like you're fearing criticism is what I'm getting here. Like you're fearing that if you do something or, say something to a person or start something new, that there will be criticism. But, I feel like you need to do it anyway, whatever it is. I am literally not getting anything, like just one thing there, This is a general reading. You're all different, but I feel like all of you in some way are fearing that if you do something, people are going to criticize you. But you know what I say? People are always going to criticize you. So, that's just life. With the Ace of Wands, you have this authority card. I feel like some of you want to become an authority or an authority figure. It's like maybe you want to become well known for something, or maybe you just, this could be more personal as well. Like maybe you want to be seen as a person who's like responsible, Ten of Wands. Or someone who takes action on things or something. It's like there's something about your image. I have like the word image popping into my head here with this card, and but it's not just image. Like it's not like you just want to be seen as an authority. It's more like the proof is in the pudding. Like you want to actually do the things that show that you're an authority. It's so that you don't have to say that I'm an authority, right? Does that make sense? Probably not. There you go. With the Hermit, you have this affair card. Definitely love coming in for you. The affair card is like not like a cheating affair. It's actually a good card. And it just represents the fact that there could be love coming in for you. Could be a Leo, could be a Capricorn, could be an Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, or a Leo. Could be any sign. This is a general reading. So if you want love, could be a Virgo as well. But I really feel like you have to open up to it. This is too much hidden energy I'm getting here. So it's like something, I feel like you need to open up is what I will say. Plain and simple. Next, in the area of the unexpected, you have this To Be Fair card and this Serendipity card. Every single person has had one of these Libra cards. So the To Be Fair card kind of looks like justice. And I do feel you are kind of like creating abundance and balance in your life. Justice, I do feel is super important right now. I would say for the rest of our lives, I really feel we really need to pay attention to cause and effect and like what is working in our lives. It's like one of my rules for the future is that everybody pay attention to like what is actually working. And people always say, well, I always pay attention to what's working. I'm like, yeah, but do you really? Do you really know the little tiny details of things that are working in your life, the actions you take? What actions are a waste of time? What actions steal from you, right? What people, all that stuff. So I don't think we have to be paranoid freaks about this, but I just think a little extra attention on like what works and then a little bit extra doubling down on what works is going to set you up for a lot of success. So, that's what I would do there. This card, very lucky situation, is coming in for you. I feel like something's meant for you, something that maybe you're working towards with the Queen of Pentacles, something that you're hoping you have the resources to do. This could be financial or otherwise. And so I feel pretty good about this. You have I think I said Queen of Swords, but Queen of Pentacles, Three of Swords, and the Wheel of Fortune. The Queen of Pentacles is a card of resourcefulness, and I think we all need to be resourceful right now. But I do feel you could be, improving your finances, or you could be doing things that improve your finances. And, I would just keep doing it, whatever it is. But I also get that sense of like hoping that you have the resources to do something. So it's like if you're working on a project or a business, it's like you're hoping that you can keep it going here. The challenge I feel obviously is the Three of Swords. This could be heartbreak or heartbreaking situation, but I also just feel this could be limiting beliefs. That's what's popping into my head. The Three of Swords is really a card of temporary, something temporary. It's raining on the Three of Swords, and it obviously doesn't rain forever. So the whole point of the Three of Swords is that whatever you're going through or whatever you're feeling in life is temporary, and it will go away. The situation will pass. And so I feel like, I don't know what's going on with this camera today, but there we go. I feel like you are kind of like moving past these challenges, and you will be forgiving something. Maybe you need to forgive yourself. Like maybe you feel like you've waited too long to do something, or maybe you feel like you've been too afraid to do something with the Nine of Wands coming up. I'll talk about that. I kind of get this fear feeling here, and I feel this is saying like don't beat yourself up, and also forgive yourself so that you can actually turn things around. Like now is clearly a lucky time for you. You have this serendipity. Now is a lucky time on the rabbits. It's like luck is changing in your favor. But, to me, luck is just preparation. It's just being prepared to take advantage of a situation, and also knowing enough so that you can actually do something about it, right? And so I do feel it's time for you to take action on something that's going to be very lucky for you. This could be an adventure, right? I feel like once you take the leap of faith going this way here, that's where the success is going to come from. The Eight of Swords is like feeling very stuck, but the Eight of Swords is only seeing one way of doing things. And I feel that the Knight of Wands is like needing to open up to all the ways of doing things. Knight of Wands is spontaneous. He's willing to be spontaneous. He just feels, and sorry, I've had something in my eye all day and it's driving me crazy, but anyway, with the Knight of Wands, it's like a card of he just comes up with a way of doing things. It doesn't matter if there seems to be no way. He feels excited. He feels he has a desire to do something, and he just starts moving in that direction. It's just that simple. Let's see. With the Queen of Pentacles, you have this inheritance card. Some of you literally could be getting money. Could be an inheritance. Doesn't have to be. Could just be you getting paid for like work that you've done. And, I feel like this could be leading to a lot of success for you here. So, love it. With the Three of Swords, you have this negotiation card here. It's like, I'm hearing you can't negotiate desires, like what I'm getting here on the Three of Swords. I'm wondering if some of you have been through something that I'm wondering if it's like a mirroring situation, but that's not the exact word that I'm looking for. With the Three of Swords, I feel that maybe some of you had a heartbreak in the past with a person, and it's like now there's new love available to you, but it's almost like I'm not, criticizing you here or anything, but it's almost like you're comparing yourself to this new situation. This could also be business as well. It's like maybe you had a financial failure in the past, and I feel the Knight of Wands is the new situation, right? And then I feel like with the Knight of Wands, you're saying this is very similar to something that I already did. And so it's almost like you're kind of like negotiating. It's like you're negotiating the two sides or something. It's very weird. I feel like maybe reconcile is a better word, not as in you are reconciling with a person, but I feel like you're trying to reconcile as in you're trying to make something make sense in your head, right? Very deep, very weird. I almost feel like it's too much. Like as in, I feel like a new situation is completely new. Like the Knight of Wands showing up in the good stuff. I feel like it's saying there's something you desire, whatever it is, business, love, money, spirituality, health, right? And it's almost like there's a new opportunity coming in here that's very lucky, but I feel like you're almost coming up with too many reasons as to why it won't work or something here, Taurus, or like why, things won't go according to plan. And I feel like this negotiation card, look, it's like this is night and day. It's like there's a night and day difference between these two things, but it's almost like you're trying to say that they're the same. And again, I'm not criticizing you here, but I feel like you need to realize that a new situation is like completely different is what I'm getting, and very good and lucky. With the Wheel of Fortune, look, you have this innovation card. It's like completely different. It's a very innovative situation. And I also feel that there are innovative solutions to like what you are thinking about doing, So if you're like trying to start a business, or if you're trying to work for a new job, I feel that you don't have to do things the traditional way. I have that book, The Power of Broke by Damon John. It's like popping into my head. And in that book, he basically talks about why, how being broke was actually a superpower for like a lot of different businesses. And, but I feel like this is in all areas of your life. Like if you're trying to make an improvement, you might not have the resources. It doesn't have to be money. It could be time, effort, energy, but it's like the lack of something is actually a benefit. I feel like it's going to lead to innovation. I think that's the point he makes in that book, is that, not having the resource is actually the thing that led to the innovation that made the person successful in the first place, right? And I kind of feel that could be going on for you, especially if you're in a situation where you're feeling like, oh, I'll never, reach this milestone, or I'll never get to this place in life, or I'll never be able to do this. I actually feel you will, but just maybe in a different way, right? Next, in the area of what's coming towards you, you have this elephant. It says, learn from the past. Yeah, learn from the past. Don't live in the past. You have this rabbit. Spirit says, now is a lucky time. A lot of fertility and abundance, I feel, is coming in for you. So I feel it's a very abundant time. I feel like you could be creating a lot of abundance and creating a lot more success as well with this energy. So, love it. Looks really, really good to me. You have the Nine of Wands, the Eight of Swords, and the Ten of Wands. The Nine of Wands says, again, open up. This whole entire route is very simple. I think that, it's kind of like saying it's time for you to open up. Nine of Wands is the wounded warrior, but he's not giving up. So I do feel it says don't give up at this time, right? Keep working towards whatever you're working towards. I also like the Nine of Wands for experimentation. So again, if you're afraid to take a step towards something, the Nine of Wands just says like, it's my card of throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. Can you just take a tiny little action towards something you want to accomplish and see what happens, right? And that's what I feel like you need to do here with the Nine of Wands. You have the Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords is a self-imposed restriction. So I feel for a lot of you that the Eight of Swords is saying that you need to open up more. Eight of Swords is about being very stuck, and but really the reason she is stuck is because she only is seeing one way of doing things. I feel that there is a lucky break coming in for you here, as in you are coming up with better ideas or just newer ways of living your life, or, taking action towards love or business or whatever, right? And so I kind of feel like you are opening up here. You have the Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands is, of course, a card of carrying a heavy burden. So I would open up with the Ten of Wands as well. It's almost like, the Ten of Wands, he's planted those wands. Personally, I kind of like the Ten of Wands because, these burdens he has planted, and he's about to reach his home in the background here. And that home kind of represents his refuge. He's about to release those burdens, but really he's about to have a harvest. But sometimes I think we carry a burden too long. We go through something, it's almost like we punish ourselves. And so I feel like this is saying you need to kind of like not beat yourself up for something, or again, maybe you're carrying too many burdens that don't belong to you, and it's time to release those things, right? With the Nine of Wands, you have this manipulation card here. This is actually a good card. It's not like manipulation like in a bad way. It's like manipulation as in manipulating the energy. It's a card of like manifestation. So I kind of feel like it's time for you to manifest the things that you desire in your life, or to work on manifesting what you desire. Again, now is a lucky time. So, and by the way, a lot of people have been getting stuff about manifestation. So it seems to be a time where we could be manifesting very quickly. Here you go. With the Eight of Swords, you have this isolation card. I feel like you need to get out of isolation, or you need to pull yourself out of isolation. You're literally going down to the Five of Pentacles, which is, again, another card of isolation. But, I'm wondering if this is a person who's coming in who could pull you out of isolation. You could also be pulling another person out of isolation, so take it how it resonates. But this doesn't even have to be love. Like, there could be a person who has good ideas for you in life that is pulling you out of isolation, but this could be like in work or business. With the Ten of Wands, you have this idealism card. Nothing will ever be perfect, and I think that's part of what could be keeping you stuck as well. Is like there will never be a perfect moment or a perfect time, and things will never be ideal. Again, especially right now. Like, I hate to tell everyone, but I don't sugarcoat my readings, and people always accuse me of being too positive. But I'm like, I talk about plenty of negative stuff in my readings. I just put a positive spin on it, right? And again, things are definitely not going to be perfect. We are definitely not going to have the things we need to do the things that we want to do. Your job is to do it anyway. That is the whole point. That is what I preach, right? Is that I think that we're in a time where we're not going to have the resources or the time or the effort or whatever we need to do the things we want to do, but we need to do it anyway. And people say, how is that possible? I don't know. You have to figure it out. That's part of the energy right now. It's like you have to figure out how to do the things that you can't do, that you want to do, right? And can't isn't even a word. So, what I would say here is I would do it anyway. I would just understand that things are never going to be perfect. You just have to take the steps, right? Next, you have this in the area of the good stuff. Whatever shows up here is going to be good no matter what. You have this retail card that says start a retail business selling products or services. If you have an idea in mind, you have the green light to go for it. You have this card that says balance all dimensions in your life. Yes, I do feel like you need to balance things out in your life and, pretty much balance everything out. Don't do too much of one thing or the other here. You have the Knight of Wands, the Two of Cups, and the Five of Pentacles. This right here is the most important card for sure in the entire reading. I feel like this is the solution, the answer, the everything, right? And I feel if you could embrace the Knight of Wands energy of being flexible, of being open to spontaneous opportunity, this is what's going to lead to the most success for you. I would also move towards desire. Again, he moves towards things that he desires to do in his life, and he uses his desire as his guide to move him forward. You have the Two of Cups here. Two of Cups is a perfect match, so I feel that there could be love coming in for you. Two of Cups is someone who's different than your usual type. So in a lot of ways, Two of Cups, these two people look very different. They live life in two very different ways, so there could be a very strong connection coming in for you, but it could be very, could be different than what you would normally go for or something like that. Definitely could be a fire sign, but, could be any sign. You have the Five of Pentacles here, and the Five of Pentacles is normally a card of being left out in the cold, but showing up in the good stuff, again, I feel like you're like coming out of the cold, and that's a good thing. It's also a card of focusing on your strengths. It says don't focus on your weaknesses, and it's coming up in the good stuff. So obviously, focusing on your strengths is going to lead to a lot more success, is what I'm getting here. Let's see. With the Knight of Wands, you have this Patience card. If look at this, like you can't make this up. Taurus and Leo right here. So I'm not saying that it has to be a Leo, but it could be a fire sign that's coming in for you for sure. It could be a fiery person or something like that as well. But again, I feel like you've been waiting for a strong connection. There's definitely a connection coming in for you if you want it. With the Two of Cups, you have this harmony card. Yes, I feel like a very harmonious connection as well in love. And again, if you don't want love, I feel like this is just your connection to whatever you're working on here. Because again, you're working on something. So, it's just a harmonious connection. With the Five of Pentacles, you have this drama card. But again, it's coming up in the good stuff. I feel like you're eliminating drama. And you're just focusing on keeping it simple is kind of what I get there. So, definitely like that, but let's see what is going on for you. You have this needle and thread card that says, a sincere wish will be granted. Whatever you're wishing for is what you will get. So definitely a wish coming in for you. You have this bridge card that says successfully overcoming a problem. So, if you have any issues or challenges, and again, I have that popping into my head. It's like there's something you want over here, and you're over here. And, I feel like you are going to bridge that gap no matter what. Like, no matter what it is. For some of you, it could be multiple things as well. It's like maybe you want love and business and career or whatever. And it's like I feel like you're kind of bridging those gaps. You have this Valley card that says deep personal strength that assures success. Yes, definitely strength and success. You have this target, it says goal-oriented person. I would, I always say this, Pluto going into Aquarius next year, at the end of the year, basically. It's going to go in there sooner, at the beginning of next year. Then it's going to retrograde back into Capricorn and go back again at the end of next year. But, it's already been there, so it doesn't matter, right? I would just have some sort of goal that you want to achieve. You have this well. It says family wishes come true. Yeah, again, if you want to like get married or have kids or something like that. Some of you could also be spending a lot more time with family as well. This is a really good reading. I feel like it's extremely lucky, but you have to believe it is kind of what I'm getting here. And, if you do that, I feel like you'll be successful. So thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. And definitely enjoy your month.